Hey everybody, beautiful day here at the La Costa Resort and Spa, and I just walked down to the cafeteria and I thought, have you ever stopped to consider what your relationship to food is? I mean, we often really don't think that we even have a relationship with food, and yet we do, and it's pretty intimate, don't you think? I mean, think about this. If you're like me, you spend so much time with food than you do with probably more of your loved ones, right? Several hours a day or more. And consider this, technically, food is just fuel. It's just fuel for living, that's it, nothing else. And yet, you know, it's become so much more to most of us. I mean, let me see if you do any of these things like I do. I mean, we use it for pleasure, we use it for comfort, and we turn to food when we're sad, when we're depressed. Where are those potato chips at, right? Where is the chocolate? We use food to socialize. I mean, I'm going to a potluck. Are you guys coming? You got to bring some food. I mean, we do it when we're bored. And I think food can also be a chore. I mean, we use it as gifts. I mean, in the holidays, have you passed around a fruitcake a few times, right? And we turn to food when we're lonely. It can be associated with sex. Food's equated also to health, and sometimes food becomes like this obsession. And it's definitely can be an addiction, and I have seen this in my practice right here. And food can actually make us hate ourselves, and food is at the center of multi-billion-dollar industries. In fact, the huge food-related industries are at the center of much of our relationship with food. I mean, restaurants, fast food chains, convenience food places, agro-business, distributors, I mean, grocery chains, snack foods. What else is there? Bakeries, coffee shops, right? Dessert chains, health food, diet food, supplements, bodybuilding food. Oh my gosh, I'm getting tired. And they spend millions of dollars, I think billions, every year trying to get what? You and me to eat more of their food. And their food in particular, and that's pretty horrifying, is because all that advertising, yeah, it works. And I think we've all been convinced that the answer to almost any food problem is, you know, is food. How's that? I mean, you love somebody, what do? You go out and buy them a box of chocolates. Or you take them to a nice dinner, right? A restaurant. Or maybe you'll go home and you'll bake. I don't know what it is, but it's probably something good, right? I mean, you want to lose food? No. You want to lose weight? What do? You eat diet food. You want to get fit, right? It's like, take my protein powder, take my supplement pill, eat our meal replacer, drink our milk, want to be healthy, eat our healthy products. I mean, you want to reward yourself, right? There's so many tons of options out there, right? If you're having a bad day, then we've got the good food for you, right? Don't have time, you know, our food will save you time. I mean, food does not arrive in your car through a window. I don't think food is really something that kind of comes out of a plant where they wear surgical caps, you know? I mean, you buy supersized something and you save. I mean, if it was made in a plant, don't eat it. If it comes from a plant, eat it. I mean, food is the answer to everything, obviously. And yet we forget that food is just fuel. We need a certain amount, okay, to maintain our weight. And if we eat more than that, I mean, we're going to store it. And to build muscle, I mean, if you're not exercising, you're going to store it. And how do you lose weight? By eating, apparently. I mean, eat some diet food, right? Drink some diet shakes, eat some zone bars, eat vegetarian products, eat meat and other protein sources, eat low fat, eat our cereal, drink our soda. I mean, there's so much out there, right? But what if we just ate less? I mean, despite what all the food industries really have convinced us of, I mean, we don't need to eat as much as we do to survive. And sure, maybe eating is fun and pleasurable, and it'll still stave off the boredom. And it's fun to do with friends and family and so on. But we don't need to eat that much, all right? We need to actually eat less. So the problem isn't that it's difficult to eat less. The problem is that it's just this complicated relationship with food that started when we were kids, little toddlers, and has become more complicated through the years. So through endless amounts of advertising, eating when we're sad, when we're lonely, happy or bored, parties, Super Bowl parties, watching TV. So how do you start a new relationship with food? I think the first thing you have to do is you have to find out what your food fingerprint is. What foods fit your DNA? Because if you don't know that, food's going to become your medicine or your poison. So that's why you got to click on the link and actually get together with me and do that. The other thing is some people need some belief systems changed. That's why we put a little life coaching with some food coaching, is because would you go to a wedding this weekend in clothes from 25 or 30 years ago? No, because your beliefs are so different. It's so outdated, those clothes. And it's like, here I am on Windows 7 and some of you are on like Windows 2000 or ME. It's time to update our belief systems, all right? And for some of us, it's our hormonal tides are not properly communicating, and so your metabolism, your fat thermostat is just set on high. So I don't care what relationship you have with food, your hormones are saying just store it, just pack it away. But I want to just suggest in this closing minute is that you start building a new relationship with food. Start recognizing exactly what you eat. You need to get started. Let's look at some sleep, food, and exercise diaries for 10 days and you'll see what your relationship to food is. You could sit down right now and send me an email that says, this is my relationship to food. And it'd be interesting to see what you would say. But food is just for sustenance. Or is our hunger often triggered by other things, right? Is it boredom? Is it socializing? Is it pleasure, right? But still realizing the effects that advertising and the food industries have on how we think about food and how we eat. So stop eating when you're bored or out of habit or as a reward or for pleasure or for comfort. I want you to find other ways to entertain yourself, to comfort yourself, to find pleasure in something else. Find some other ways to socialize than eating large amounts of food, and stop obsessing about food. End some of your addictions with certain foods. Sugar, for example, or starches, we can still eat them, but we don't need to eat as much of them. Try to keep your sugars down to 25 grams a day. That's about 4 grams per meal, okay, if you're eating a few small meals a day. But think about how simple life would be if you could just end this complicated relationship with food, right? Some changes might happen. Here's the changes, okay? You'd spend less time thinking about food. You'd spend less time preparing food. You'd spend less money on food. You'd eat less, and you'd get healthier. And that's why I teach people to take a shower from within, to fast. We'll talk about fasting another day, because I got to give a little bit of credit. If you learn how to fast and cleanse from within, you set your hormonal tides differently. There's a lot more there. So we'll talk about that the next time. Thanks for dropping by the site. It's a beautiful day, and I'm going to go outside and grab me something to eat. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to go take a bike ride. I'll see you guys, all right? Let me see if I can find the stop button on this crazy thing and stop this recording. Bye-bye.